Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to get started in just a couple of minutes. Just give people a chance to join and hang tight. We'll be with you soon. Well, it's that time on the nose, so I think we'll at least get started with some of the preliminaries. Thanks for joining the NetGiver for Nonprofits webinar today. Appreciate you taking the time and look forward to sharing with you about NetGiver. I want to just say there's a chat window on the right-hand side of the screen. So if you want to send us a message, please feel free to do that. You can send us questions. We'll make sure to take them and answer them as we go through. And let me know there if you have any problem with the audio or video as well as we go through. If you can hear us, go ahead and send us a message. If you can't hear us, of course, please do that as well. But I think it's 1 minute past, and we'll get started.
Good morning or afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're at. My name is Eric Berg. I am a co-founder of NetGiver. We're happy to have you joining us today, and I am here with Miriam.
Hi there. Thanks for joining. We're excited to talk to you all about how NetGiver can help you start receiving fee-free donations from credit union members directly to your organization. So let's get us started. Everyone loves the simplicity of credit card and online transactions, and that is, of course, increasingly true for your donors. However, credit card and platform fees are driving down the impact from those donations, which we feel isn't very fair to nonprofits like yours, where every penny matters. While these everyday individual donations come at a cost, NetGiver is created by credit unions to offer fee-free charitable giving to you for free, which means more impactful donations for you and an extra feel-good sensation for your donors.
Right. And so the question really is, why would credit unions do this? So before going any further, I want to give you a quick overview of credit unions for anyone that might be unfamiliar with what a credit union is or why they would be involved in a process like this. Credit unions are not-for-profit financial institutions that were established for the purpose of servicing communities through the mission of people helping people. About 50% of the population or so, depending on where you're at in the country and growing, belongs to a credit union. And this audience is perfectly positioned to drive a significant impact for your nonprofits. So to better explain this, I'd like to show you a brief video demonstration supporting, which is about or combining with Midwest Animal Rescue, showing how NetGiver supports 100% fee-free charitable donations. Let's hit play.
Hi, I'm Taylor. Today we're going to play with some puppies and learn how NetGiver is helping a local charity provide more services for puppy adoption. Let's go play.
Hi, I'm Camille. I work with Midwest Animal Rescue and Services, aka MARS. We are an animal rescue that also offers community services. We believe that there are two ends to the leash, so in order to take care of the pet, you have to take care of the parent as well. We started in 2006 and have saved over 18,000 animals since then with a 99% adoption success rate. So once they go home, they stay home.
So I know your organization primarily gets a lot of their money through donations.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, what difference would that 7% make?
7% would make a huge difference. If we raise $100,000, that's $7,000 extra that we can use towards our mission in saving homeless animals. That's $7,000. If you divide that by $20, the price of a microchip, that's 350 animals that would always have a road back home and would never be homeless again. So that makes a huge difference. That $7,000, if you divide that by 75, about the average cost for us to spay or neuter a pet, that is almost 100 animals that would be spayed or neutered.
I'm using NetGiver to make my donation now. Just a quick search to find Midwest Animal Rescue. There it is. Tap on their name and their listing comes up. Make sure it's the right one. It is. And now I can enter my donation. How about 50 bucks? And hit give. And then confirm my donation. Wonderful.
Donating using NetGiver makes a significant difference to our nonprofit.
I could play with puppies all day.
I could play with puppies all day. Oh, so cute. So to highlight the work that credit unions are already doing, we've pulled together here a few screenshots from Twitter to help show how credit unions are giving back to their communities and also supporting nonprofits like yours. This is really a huge part of what sets credit unions apart from other banking establishments and emphasizes the people helping people philosophy that credit unions were founded on. The hashtag #CUDifference will pull up a whole ton of stories, especially right now, similar to the ones we see on the screen.
Yeah, so while regular banks are, let's get back into the difference a little bit more here, right? So while banks are privately owned and operated by a board of paid directors, credit unions are owned by their members and operated by a board of volunteer directors, making it possible for this give money back to their members and communities through services and programs like NetGiver. So instead of those profits going into the pockets of CEOs and board members and owners of a bank, those profits are redirected back into the services that are offered to credit unions and their members. So credit unions are just like banks, with the exception of the fact that they're not owned by a private board. They're owned by their members, which makes things like NetGiver possible.
Mm-hmm. And so that's why NetGiver then has brought to users, to members, and to the nonprofit communities by credit unions. It's a mobile app that ensures that 100% of the donations go directly to nonprofit organizations. You're familiar, I'm sure, with many giving platforms, and they do a lot of important work, but NetGiver specifically is designed so that there's no fees to the donor, no fees to your organization. It's an easy process. As we saw in the video, it took under a minute to make a donation to a chosen nonprofit organization. And there's no middleman or bottleneck. This is not a donor advised fund. The funds never are held by NetGiver or touched by NetGiver. So it's 100% giving direct from donor account to nonprofit organization account. So we really see this as a valuable piece of your larger development programs that you're already running today, but designed to require very, very little involvement from your teams to manage. This is a value add for nonprofit organizations.
Right. And so, you know, we also built a lot of simplicity around this. And so once your nonprofit is enrolled in NetGiver, that's all you need to do to start receiving these fee-free donations. There's no need for your teams to go on and claim the donations like you do on some other platforms, meaning there's not a lot of time commitment for you to plan around when using NetGiver. You'll also receive monthly emails, which allow you to be able to go online and then download the individual donor data. And that donor data is just your data. It's not shared with the credit unions. It's no other, it doesn't belong to anybody else. That donor data shows you who made your donation and how much they made, so that you can then prepare your reports and your receipts and your thank yous to those members to be able to send those out automatically. And we do that once a month for you. So the money gets deposited directly into your account, and then you get the report at the close of the month that gives you the detail of who it was that made the donations to you. And with the credit unions paying to offer this service to their members, it's something that then fees you up from having to pay for any fees. So there are no fees associated with NetGiver at all. You won't have a fee for registering. You won't have a fee for transactions. There are zero fees. So zero means zero when you're working with NetGiver.
And Eric talked a little bit about the donor data. Let's take a look at what you get as a nonprofit organization and how you get to manage your nonprofit NetGiver account. We provide you with a dashboard where you, if you want, can update your mission statement and contact information. The organization information and the mission statement is what is seen in the app, so that when donors are trying to make a donation, they can ensure that it's going to the right organization, to the one that they want to support. So keeping that up to date is entirely up to you, whether you want to go in there and change that, but we provide you an easy way in which to do that, as well as then, as Eric mentioned, being able to download reports. We send you a reminder every month that it becomes available for you to download, but they're stored here for you to download as a CSV file, which then can easily integrate into whatever system you're using, whether you're using something more advanced like Blackbaud or just Excel. Spreadsheets, you're able to import the CSV file into whatever database you currently have to keep track of donor data. And then we ask that as per your normal operations, you send your thank yous, however you do, to the donors, letting them know that their donation has been received. But it all is very much intended to be low maintenance to no maintenance for your nonprofit organization, just a value add.
We also want to remind you that we do have an opportunity at the end of the webinar to take questions. So if you do have questions, feel free to use the chat window on the side of the screen to be able to go ahead and send us any questions you might have on anything we've covered so far, or anything we've got coming up that you may have additional questions on.
Yes, thank you.
So for donors, direct giving simplified. So let's talk about what that means. So for donors, we're solving a problem by giving them a singular location to make donations to their favorite nonprofits without them needing to write a check or seek out and fill out ACH forms on all the different donation platforms and portals. Donors simply log into NetGiver using their credit union online banking credentials. They search for your nonprofit and send a donation directly to you from that checking account. Our secure system protects users and nonprofit data, and in doing so makes the process both easy and safe for everyone involved.
We provide to you, the nonprofit organizations, the dashboard, the app interface, so that you can then share with your donors, your member, your mission statement, as well as their contact information. We also are providing some basic marketing material so that you can help tell your donor base, if you want to, about the opportunity to use NetGiver, the ability to make those fee-free donations, and all from one place, one simple place for your donors who are credit union members, who might want to make sure that 100% of their donation is efficiently and effectively reaching your organization. So those materials are available for you to download, put your logo on them however you want, and then distribute if that's of interest to you, to your organization. The rest, though, is really up to you. How do you want to tell your donors about the difference that fee-free donations can make to your organization? We've seen an average of about 7% across all the platforms. 7% of donations are often lost to credit card, platform, and administrative fees. Higher if you include staff time in order to manage those programs. So we want to make sure that this is an opportunity for you to tell your donors what difference that fee-free giving makes to your organization.
Yeah, and once you've registered with NetGiver, you'll have essentially just added an additional payment option for your donors to use when they look at sending you charitable gifts. So we see this working right alongside your existing donation sources as an additional option for your donors to use. And in the same way that you might tell them that you can take a credit card or a PayPal payment, or you'll take a check, you can certainly feel free to tell them about NetGiver as well. And if they're a credit union member, participating credit union, then they'll be able to make their donations directly to your organization without incurring any of those fees. So again, it's up to you, in the same way that telling donors that they can use PayPal or their credit cards or whatever else to make donations. You can feel free to let them know that NetGiver is an option for them as well.
Absolutely, it's part of the whole picture, and it's not meant to replace the giving programs that you've got out there and the development program that you're running, but it offers more privacy than Facebook, fewer fees than PayPal, and many others, actually no fees, and no bottleneck to donations. So whether a donor advised fund or other platforms, they often get held up in processing for various reasons and purposes. So these come directly to your organization. So we focus on the security, simplicity, and fee-free nature of giving, but again, right alongside your current giving programs.
And to some extent, you get out of it what you put into it, and because it is offered to you fee-free, different organizations have taken different approaches to how they work with NetGiver. We see this as a great opportunity to strengthen your relationship with local credit unions, and have them tell the story about a safer and quicker and better option for giving. Enlist your partners to help spread the fee-free news and create giving campaigns that your donors can participate in. These are all things that we've seen happen with some other organizations that have been working with credit unions locally. So again, this is nothing that you have to do, but you certainly could, if you have a credit union relationship right now, to partner with credit unions on building some programs around giving. And with your help, donors can better understand the impact of donation fees, and then potentially opt for a solution where those fees don't exist. And obviously, we believe that's NetGiver.
And I do see a question that just came in about that, so I'll take that right now. But I want to remind you all, please feel free to send questions through, and we'll answer them as they come in or at the end. So this is a question about partnering with credit unions. Is this something that you have to do in collaboration with one credit union? The answer is no. That this is available to members of all participating credit unions. But if there is an initiative that you want to run with a credit union and they're on the platform, perhaps you have a giving campaign, you have in this time maybe a virtual gala, you're getting creative with the ways that you're reaching your donor base. Maybe you partner with a credit union to be able to tell them and their members about your organization's important impact and how their donation can assist with that. Maybe it's a partnership with telling that story for a limited time to that membership. It's really all up to how you want to make that relationship work, how you want to tell your donors about the opportunity for fee-free giving, but also how you want to encourage credit unions to tell their members about your organization.
Yeah, and so from the credit union member's perspective, what NetGiver provides is a personalized experience that doesn't compete with a current banking relationship any more than accepting donations through PayPal. Your nonprofit only has to register with NetGiver, or actually we call it enroll with NetGiver, one time to start receiving fee-free donations from your credit union members anywhere, at any participating credit union in the country. And the enrollment process is very simple, as Miriam mentioned, and it basically allows us to be able to send the money directly to you over the ACH platform, which is how we can.
We'll show you a video really shortly.
Yeah, we'll talk about that now.
But I do want to mention, just before we show this quick video, that your organization doesn't have to actually be banking with a credit union to use NetGiver. While we do encourage,
that's a good point, Miriam. That's a good point.
While we encourage you to support the organization that is supporting your community and your organizations, you can be have your bank accounts with any financial institution to be able to participate with NetGiver. Let's take a quick look at this video.
Let's walk through the simple registration process for nonprofits. Once you're at app.netgiverapp.com, click on Register Your Nonprofit Organization. Here we gather some basic information about the administrator for your NetGiver dashboard. We need an email address, preferably one associated with your organization, your first name, your last name, your title or role within the organization, and a password. Please choose a password that's 8 characters long and a combination of numbers, letters, and special characters. Select Next. Here we need your EIN to locate your charitable organization. Click Search. And once your nonprofit is found, check the box that says Select this charity. Then click Next. Here we enter in the information that will be displayed in the app. If your nonprofit has a DBA, make sure to enter it here. Main office number and email and the website. And then be sure to add your organization's short mission statement. Click to confirm the terms of use and that you're an authorized representative of the organization. And then click Next. The final step is to securely link your bank account. We use the same trusted technologies that many of you already use. Once you click Link Your Account, you'll search for or select your financial institution. This can be either a bank or a credit union. You need your online banking credentials, which is your username and your password. Enter those in and click Submit. It'll take a moment, but then your account is connected to NetGiver. Once this is done, donations move directly from donor to nonprofit. No fees, no middlemen.
Just a simple process to connect your nonprofit organization's financial institution to NetGiver. And once that's done, all participating credit unions members are able to donate to your organization, whether that is someone from a credit union in Kansas, Minnesota, Mississippi, California, or New York. You only have to enroll once for all participating credit unions members to be able to donate. So just a quick checklist of those things that you're going to need in order to enroll. It's your EIN number. You can find this on your 990 form that you filed with the IRS or any of those other official documents. Other places you can search for it on Charity Navigator if you're having trouble locating it. You'll want your mission statement. This is about 200 characters that you can put into the dashboard that allows donors to see what your organization is about, what you stand for, what your mission is, and then your online banking information, which includes your username and password. And if your financial institution requires some other security information, I have seen questions such as the name of your pet, your favorite flower, or your high school first relationship. So make sure you have that information handy, whatever is required by your financial institution. But it's a very simple enrollment process. And again, once completed, then you are on the platform for all donors to see.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Miriam. And so I guess we're coming to the end of our presentation right now. I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty easy to get on the platform, but we want to make sure we allowed some time for you to ask questions and make sure we got to as many questions as we could. So feel free to send. Feel free to send them in. We'll go ahead and we'll get started on answering some of those right now. And know that if we don't get to your question today on the seminar, you can feel free to follow up with us, or we'll follow up with you if we have your information, your question come through to us. We'll make sure we'll get back to you with answers to those questions as soon as we can.
Absolutely, and we'll show our email addresses on the next screen. First question that comes in, Eric, where can I find more information?
Yes, more information. More information is available for everything related to NetGiver at our website, which is www.netgiverapp.com. Again, netgiverapp.com.
Yep, plenty of resources. There's links to the videos we've shared. If you click on the nonprofits tab, there's FAQs. There's the marketing materials. So please visit and take advantage of the resources there. This one, Eric, I'm going to ask you this one too. Donor data. Do we share it or sell it with anybody?
Absolutely not. The donor data is your data. That information is only available to you. You are the only people that see the information about who has donated to you, and you have the information from those donations to be able to send your thank yous and your receipts out to your donors once you've received our report off of our online dashboard.
That's perfectly leading into the next question. What information does a nonprofit receive through that CSV file that you're able to download, and the records are kept on your dashboard for you? You will receive the donor's contact information, their first and last name, the amount which they donated, as well as the date. So this should be able to seamlessly integrate into your system. As well as a question here about, do we provide any receipts when the transaction occurs? The donor will see within their app, within their system, a record of what they've given and to which organization. However, we understand that the relationship with your donors is important, and we do ask that the official receipt and thank you does come from your organization. But we see that and have heard from our nonprofit partners that this is an essential part of your ongoing development programs. So we encourage you to continue to do that. Eric, here's a question for you. A good one. Do we have to market to our donors, and what are we obligated to do to participate?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we did touch on it earlier, and we do want to make sure that we're very clear about this. And that is that once you are enrolled in NetGiver, there is nothing else that you need to do from NetGiver's perspective. You can participate as much or as little as you want in the NetGiver community per se. But no, there is nothing that you have to do when it relates to anything for NetGiver or to be a part of the NetGiver community. Having enrolled in NetGiver is the minimum standard that you have to do when you're working with NetGiver. Of course, when a donation is made to you, then you're taking care of those receipts back to your donors and taking care of that relationship at that point in time. We don't do any of that. But once you're enrolled, there's nothing else you have to do to promote NetGiver. Now, if you want to and you want to participate in other things with credit unions, you certainly are welcome to do that and welcome to encourage your donors to give through NetGiver in many different ways.
I am so looking forward to more of the stories. We talk about at NetGiver the 7% difference, just taking an average of those platform and administrative fees and credit card fees. That 7% difference. I want to hear more stories from nonprofits about what difference that makes, like in the video from Midwest Animal Rescue. But again, it's entirely up to you and your organization how much or how little you want to participate with NetGiver.
Well, and what's really great is just in the last couple of weeks, Miriam, we have saved nonprofit organizations over $10,000 in fees that they would have normally otherwise paid had they received donations that had been through NetGiver, that if they had gotten them through a credit card or another platform.
It's true. That impact really adds up.
Yep, it's big. It's big.
Again, I want to remind you all that there is information at netgiverapp.com. If you go to netgiverapp.com/nonprofits, you'll get a whole slew of information and resources, and I encourage you to use them and look there for your most commonly asked questions. But if you do have other questions or other needs, please do feel free to reach out to us, Eric or myself, Miriam, at the email addresses seen on the screen. We encourage you to connect with us, and really, I want to thank you all for joining us today. I know that we are all stretched thin on our time and our resources at the moment, so this is why we feel that NetGiver is even more important at the moment, that we make the most impact with what we're given. So thank you for joining us. And again, please reach out if you have any questions or need help registering to enroll. I'm going to quickly go back to that screen. It's app.netgiverapp.com for the actual enrollment. App.netgiverapp.com, where you enroll your nonprofit organization, and it takes about 5 minutes tops to be able to do that. And yes, I thank you and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.